So as you can see, that water level has gone down considerably from my last footage shot the other day. These concrete bases, they were totally submerged. The water was right up to that iron support underneath. Yeah, it was pretty much lapping underneath the bridge here, the water. So we're looking good. Yeah, that's really gone down. Bike paths are still flooded. All right. So yeah, she's flooded over here as well. But up here, it looks like the water has totally gone down. I mean, that footage I shot the other day, this was like a lake. This is Lindsay Park. The water came all the way up to these trees in front of me. So it's gone down a lot. That's really good. Hopefully we'll have some power at our house in the next 24 hours maybe. I was talking to a couple of city inspectors and they were just assessing properties around where we live to see if they could tie them into another grid. Yeah, all of this was submerged, and that water was just rushing through here like a river. Oh, it was a river essentially. Yeah. You just see all the debris that it's left behind in there. All the side footage. There's a snowdrift fence somebody had rolled up in their yard perhaps, and that got caught up. Snow fence. It's part of a deck, yeah. And then over here, looks like the path is closed over there. Just all of the debris tossed into this playground. There's somebody's deck and fence over there. Helicopters still flying around, searching. There's and obviously the turbulence here wasn't too bad, otherwise this asphalt would be torn up. Certain sections of the path that were in the path of the actual river where the turbulence was much greater had just been thrown all over, strewn everywhere, which is should be expected. A lot of trees broken through here. Chickadees seem happy. See all the debris that was dragged through here and dumped. Yeah, that's lifted a bit. So the water was basically at the top where that branch is, maybe a little higher if I recall down here. Yeah, it would have been higher because I can remember looking at this post and it was half underwater or better. This gas light. Picnic tables are still bolted down. See the river over here. Wow. And this is just a couple of blocks from where we live. Thankfully our condo was spared. Just powerless, that's all. No power, no gas. No hot water, no electricity. So could have been far worse. There's that bridge that was covered with water. I don't think I'm going to walk across here just yet. Or maybe. So yeah, when I shot footage before, this bridge was impassable. The water was kind of up on the top of the bridge. You can see where that little bit of debris is wrapped around the railings. And I was shooting from the other side, and I was looking over here. Morning. So yeah, here's the bridge from 4th Street, or from 2nd Street, sorry, into Lindsay Park. I can now walk on it. I was just talking to a fellow here. He says there's a shipping container, an intermodal large container that got washed up over here. And this is really funny. Check this out. There's a ladder of all things, and it's standing upright right down there. So we'll walk through this debris. Part of somebody's deck. Beautiful morning. Wow. Yeah, basically, wherever you are in Calgary, if you've got a river near you, and the two rivers twist and wind throughout this large city, odds are you've sustained some kind of flooding. And this fellow I was talking to lives in the district, the community of Hillhurst, and he says that they had their power restored the other day. I guess they tied into an adjacent grid, the city, and restored their power in Hillhurst. But he says Sunnyside still has no power. Man, I want to see where this intermodal container is. Shipping container. Big log. Yeah, a lot of large trees were uprooted through here. There's another deck. Part of the deck. Yeah, even in 2005 when that flood hit, the water wasn't even as high as it is now. I recall coming through here, it might have been this height, barely. And that's kind of what I was prepared for, nothing worse than that. I had no idea the scope of this flood. I couldn't foresee that. There's somebody's gate over there. Okay, what's that? Oh yeah, there's the shipping container. Wow. How the hell? There's 2 shipping containers in here. Insane. Wow. Looks like somebody was storing windows and things inside there. Probably from a construction site somewhere upriver. That'd be my guess. And there's the other shipping container. Yeah, there's 2 or 3 of them in there, shipping containers. So I guess the 4 people that did die were from High River, in the river there in the trailer, not Calgary. From what I understand at this point, nobody was killed after all this. And keep in mind, this is just one part of the city that's being hit by this. There's dozens of areas like this all over the city, some far worse than what we succumbed to here. Looks like a swamp. Some bird is really chattery up there. Yeah, this was a huge lake. Lindsay Park. Lake Lindsay. Now coming up, we're going to get to the condominiums that I showed in my second video. They looked like Venice. It was, the streets were, cars were floating, cars were submerged, and I'm going to see how that looks. There's a pallet, some more framing. Looks like something from a new home. Floor joists. Wow. A lot of shit, man. And it's the apartments across the way there that got it so bad too. They were covered, at least to the second floor, some of these places. And I recall shooting this cabin, this little storage cabin here from a safe point during the big part of the flood, and that was covered. It was just a roof or something sticking out. Pathway is just being totally ripped away here. There's a big chunk of it. So it's just sort of dumped it. Now you can see the yellow line here going straight, and that's where the pathway would have gone and it would have connected further up there, but it just got lifted right up and dumped here. So much shit to clean up, but it could have been worse. Here's from the west side of Talisman Center in Lindsay Park, just to shoot back where I was just standing. That's remnants of what was a path going through here. And the apartment over there with the green balconies, when I was shooting this, the water was up to that lower balcony. It might have even been above that. As well as that big gray house, that gray and white house there. And this green sign here was submerged. There's another section of the path, those big chunks of asphalt, and the path ran right over here to my left. Hey. Here's these condos that were totally flooded the other day. Yeah, where I'm standing right now is totally submerged. There's a van over there just propped up on the fence. This is just terrible. And these condos have had such bad luck. When they were under construction about 10 years ago, part of them burned down. Hey. Hopefully you don't live down here.
Yeah, I just got across this street.
Yeah, between my last sequence, I was just talking to that gentleman walking down here. If you see him, he lives right there. He was showing me some photos on his cell phone that he took of his property, and yeah, he said he moved in just after the big fire when these places burned, and he's listing it right after things got cleaned up. But this was all covered in water, everything here. Yeah. So I'm trying to shoot from the same vantage point as my other video. Look at this car. Wow, looks like we have traffic on McLeod Trail. Buses, some service vehicles, cleanup crews. If you recall, that was a river. And there was a truck right in here in my other video that was submerged. And that was all flooded out. We have friends that live down this street. This is just a shot of the Talisman Center, Sportsplex Aquatic Center here. And I just came from over there to the left where the other buildings are that go around that side. It's a very large facility. And we just live on the other side of that portion of the building. So I basically just done kind of a loop of Lindsay Park here just to kind of demonstrate how things have receded. Yeah, I know. See where that man is standing there? The C train, which is like our subway here in Calgary. The bridge just in front of him was basically covered. It was up to the guardrail. And yeah, that track is being torn up pretty badly there. Yeah, they've already got cleanup crews out here. That's good. And they're dumping some fill in there, replacing what was washed out. More city crews. And this bus seems to be in service. There's passengers on it in the back there. But I haven't seen anything other than city vehicles coming down here. So maybe it's not open to the public yet. As there is a bridge just further up here, there's a bridge there, and I guess they have to inspect all of this, of course, before they can safely open things. And there's another bridge up here as well, so. There's another bus. So all of this where I'm standing right now was just covered in water. It was like a river running through here. And even up this road here, another part of the river. So there's a Saddle Dome and there's a Stampede grounds. They was all flooded as far as you can see where that dome is. That's the hockey arena, totally flooded. Here comes the street cleaners. I'm really surprised the water receded as quickly as it did, considering all of this was flooded. Now the Calgary Stampede is due to start, I think, on July 5th. So we got like a couple of weeks, and they were saying the other day that they were still planning on going ahead, and I was dumbfounded, like how the hell are they going to, proceed with that? I guess the fact that they employ cheap labor and nothing but part-time help, they might get it done. Yeah. If they constructed the pyramids with slaves, I'm sure the Stampede Board can clean up their property with slaves. Yeah, that bridge straight ahead is another bridge that I mentioned a minute ago. It's no doubt has to be inspected. Perhaps it has already, as I see some vehicles crossing it. So here I am at the edge of the parking lot of Talisman, sort of on higher ground, and down below is all covered in water. And I actually filmed along the glass windows here because there was nowhere else to walk. It was all water to the right. Yeah, all of this was covered in water. The only spot that I could walk was this gravel. This pathway here was covered. So looking back that way, you can see St. Mary's Cathedral. I was just in behind there. That would be Lindsay Park and Talisman Center, and now I'm kind of moving in towards downtown, and all seems normal a few blocks up, but they still have no power where I'm standing here. So this is all part of that same grid. Subway over there, of course, no power. There's the international symbol for shitty coffee, I think, coming up there, Starbucks. We'll see if they're open on that side of the street. Somehow I doubt it. I think that's an Irish pub there. It's closed. Yeah, and Starbucks is closed. It's like a ghost town. Well, there's the odd car passing through, but it's generally really busy this time of day here with pedestrians and a lot of traffic. And looks like some people are still going to work. I think a good chunk of downtown is shut down. Some of those high rises, maybe on 8th Avenue, 9th Avenue, might be open, but from 7th Avenue north, from what I'm told, they're shut down all the way to the river, which would be like 3rd Avenue, 2nd Avenue, something like that. See, I'm already at 10th Avenue and there's still no power. And you can kind of make out the steeple of the church way down there where Lindsay Park is. No power from beyond that. Probably for half a mile beyond St. Mary's Cathedral, there's no power, and coming this way, no power. No power that way. That way for several blocks. And I'm just entering the heart of downtown Calgary now, and there's all these buildings are shut down. Okay, still roadblocks, still no traffic lights lit up, still no power. Yeah, many people today have chosen not to go to work Monday. What's the point? All these big oil companies down here taking such a loss. I wonder how much money they're going to donate to cleaning up this mess and helping the city out. See, even for down that way there's roadblocks. No, I don't think they sustained any water damage here. This is rather elevated, but still part of that same grid, no power. I should call this video No Power. Oh, there's one person. Wow. Perfect time to shoot a post-apocalyptic movies after cities have been flooded. There's a bunch of zombies coming towards me now. I gotta shut the camera off and hide. There's the Calgary Tower. Thankfully not the Leaning Tower. And the old Palliser Hotel. All these businesses closed. And there's the bay. Well, I see people walking with coffees and that, so there's got to be something open further up. So like I said, there might be 2 blocks of downtown open, like going north-south. Maybe 8th Avenue, 9th Avenue, or 8th Avenue, 7th Avenue, possibly. Eighth Avenue Mall looks dead. I wonder. Looks like they must have had some sewers backing up here from all the staining on the cobblestones. Yeah, as far as you can see, no power. Yeah, normally you can't walk down here without bumping shoulder to shoulder with people. There's the old Bank of Montreal building. Hasn't been that in over 20 years. It used to be A&B Sound till the sons of Al Steiner drove that once fine company into the ground. Or Fred Steiner, my mistake, sorry. And there's the bow. So there's no power here, and I'm on 7th Avenue. These guys with NMAX, they're the power supplier for Calgary. Traffic lights are dead here. No C train service, of course. I think I saw some C trains running up in the north end of the city. And there's the Bow Valley Towers, Petro-Canada Tower, the old Grand. That was a theater when I was a kid, Twin Theater. Now it's stage productions. But, well, so much for my theory of there possibly being power down here. I'm on 6th Avenue and there's still no traffic lights, still no. So to give perspective from where I was initially shooting back at Lindsay Park and Talisman, that'd be roughly 26th Avenue. So I've gone 20 blocks through the downtown core and Mission district, and there's still no power. We'll try walking west. See if we have any luck going west. Wait for it. Wait for it. Go west, young man. There's the bow. Don't think you can see it with all that sun. This is a miracle of God. I've been walking since 26th Avenue and now I'm on 7th Avenue. And everything is affected. There's no power. And then I see Tim's light is on. So this is like an act of God. Yeah, I'm documenting it. So there we go. The whole city is shut down and Tim Hortons is still open, so there is hope.